Hello, my name is Steev Goodwin and this is Team Similarly Geeky with a TnID hack called Throw Them, which is called because of the punchline to the joke, how far can I trust a company with my personal data? As far as I can throw them. So the problem this hack looks to solve is of access, giving temporary access to personal data. If a company wants to verify my identity with my name and date of birth, for example, they shouldn't have access to my data after they've done so. How many apps on my phone have been granted permission to access my camera, for example, when I installed them, and now still have that permission because I've forgotten to remove it? And that's the aim here, to provide temporary access which is automatically revoked once the company has requested my data. So how do I do this? So when a company requests access, I write data into a meta tag field on the user account. That's one entry per company. This is a copy of the data, not a pointer or a reference. It's so I can give each specific company a preferred name that might differ from my legal name. Or I can invent a secret middle name that lets me trace any future data leaks. This request also has an expiry time, just like a password reset link, and a signature to verify the completeness of the data block. At the moment, it's a simple JSON literal, but with more time, I would have used some public key encryption or a JOT token or something similar, so I can encrypt the data I'm giving away with the public key of the company that's requesting it. Literally, I would throw them my data and then throw them away again. The hurdles in this hack were mostly self-inflicted. I knew nothing of GraphQL when I started. I don't know much now, but all the examples I found online were how to use GraphQL with some framework or other, and usually a framework I wasn't too familiar. So instead, I started by writing my own TnID for Dummies library. And this is a simple Node.js module that makes fetch calls to an endpoint. It's part of the hack and in the GitHub repo. There was also some initial uncertainty in my mind about tokens, separate tokens for companies and individuals, and then different tokens, such as the client ID and secret, that are then exchanged for the actual token you need to authenticate with the endpoints. I also spent some time looking for the timestamp on these tokens to find out when they expired, only to realize there isn't a field for expiry on the tokens. Also, during the course of the hack, I managed to make some GraphQL mutation that caused something to break on both the company web pages and on the individual web pages on the staging server, since they were all returning internal server errors for me. So for that, sorry, Alex. Another minor oddity was when I accidentally created two client secrets with the same description, and I was never sure which was the correct one, but it seemed to work anyway. But unfortunately, the biggest problem for me came 10 minutes before making this video. Something changed that prevented me from using full JSON literals in the metadata. It appears that only a flat structure of individual strings, and not integers or other nested objects, are permissible now. So I tried stringifying my JSON before sending it, only to find there's a limit of 500 characters in the metadata field. So while everything was fine on Tuesday when I finished it, it means the code in GitHub might not work currently as advertised. But aside from that, I think the idea of providing a temporary access to copied data is valid. And it's something I'd like to look at further in the future. How can I get the company to retrieve a customer profile, for example, with a pre-approved link? Or how can I cryptographically sign this data? Can I trigger an auto expire once the company has made that initial access request? All these sort of things. But that's all from me. My name is Steev Goodwin. I'm from Team Similarly Geeky, hacking on TnID with Throw Them. Bye for now.